No killer cops are welcome here.
Exactly a month into this protest movement, and they march on the streets of Detroit every single day. An attempt to keep alive the issue of racism and policing. They have a message for the city's police chief.
You see this, there's no justice, no peace. This is not going to stop. We are not stopping anytime soon. You guys are waiting for us to get tired, and we're not going to get tired, I can promise you that.
Detroit, which is 80% black, has a deeply troubled history of race relations, going back a generation to the riots of 1967.
The long, hot summer of race riots had blazed across the nation. In the words of the mayor of Detroit, we aim to pacify Vietnam, but we still can't pacify the American people.
It's now more than 50 years on, and yet the stories and the grievances are the same. We met Colvin on the march, and he spoke of his experiences in modern-day Detroit.
So, Colvin, when you see a police officer, what's your instant reaction?
Fear. Fear is the instant reaction. You have to get your mind right and know what to say. And my mother taught me at a very young age that the police, you have to be careful whenever you see them. I remember when Trayvon Martin was killed, and my mother told me I couldn't leave the house with a hoodie on because she was afraid that I was going to die.
The city's police chief told News at 10 he's on the side of protesters and that the death of George Floyd was deeply shocking.
So when you saw that video, Chief, you thought you were watching a murder?
Absolutely, it was a murder. I mean, it's no other way to describe it. It wasn't like Mr. Floyd was offering resistance. And this officer was in a fight for his life. And I know that many Detroit police officers share the same sentiment. And we kneeled in solidarity with the protesters.
You took the knee?
I took the knee. I'm in sync with the message, but I am not in sync and are, non-tolerant of violence.
And yet a few weeks ago, these were the scenes on the streets of Detroit. Heavy-handed policing of a protest once more.
For many here in Detroit, the death of George Floyd has the potential to be a turning point, but only if activism is maintained, the pressure is increased, and police budgets are radically cut.
And until such time that we have an actual change in policy, a change in politicians, a change in attitude, nothing will change.
What change are you looking for above all?
Retraining. We're not saying defund the police. We're saying demilitarize the police. We're saying change the whole system of policing. Once the police are retrained to when they don't have to use deadly force for a traffic stop, then we'll have a brighter future.
But that brighter day feels a lifetime away for many on this march, and they insist the fight to reform the police is only just beginning. Robert Moore, News at 10, Detroit.